Hello, so welcome back to this fourth video in a series of five short videos on just to give you some pointers, some tips into narcissistic abusive relationships. This one is about how narcissistic relationships change your sense of self, how they change you into being a version of you that isn't really you. We've talked about how in the last video about how trauma bonding happens and how we get drawn into that, and we talked about the nature of narcissism. But this is just a short video to run in line with that is more focused on you and what that narcissistic relationship does to you as an individual. Now, one of the most overlooked effects of narcissistic relationships is what happens to you over time. At first, the changes are small. You second guess a reaction, you apologise more than usual, and you start explaining yourself in ways you never used to. But gradually and slowly, those small shifts build up. You might notice you feel less confident in your decisions, you rely more on the narcissist's approval, and you feel unsure about what you think or what you feel. This isn't accidental. Narcissistic dynamics often involve subtle invalidation, where your perspective is questioned, minimized, or dismissed. Now, I speak to lots of clients who are victims of narcissists, often in narcissistic relationships, and they often don't see this. They often accept it as normal because through that repetition of going round in cycles, they've changed their thinking and they're stuck in this kind of no man's land of not being able to move forward and not being able to go backwards, because that's where the narcissist has trapped them, in this middle ground of self-doubt, of questioning yourself, is it me? And those changes in you are really important. A real great question that I ask people who have ended a narcissistic relationship, I say, think back to who you were as a person before that relationship started, and now compare yourself to who you are now after that relationship is ended. And that will give you an idea of how that narcissistic relationship has broken you down, has eroded away your confidence, your self-esteem, your sense of feeling good enough. And all of that's gone now. Your whole life has changed because of the nature of the dynamics of the narcissistic relationship. To some degree, you stop trusting your instincts. And when you don't trust yourself, you become more independent on other people for clarity, for reassurance and direction. And that's how control deepens, quietly over time. That subtle leaning towards codependency, whether you feel that the narcissist is somebody there that you can depend on, somebody that you can trust on, but that's the trap. The narcissist has now eroded away your ability to make your own decisions. You'll always lean towards them. If you leave, you'll go back to them because there's this codependent urgency that you have, this invalidation and lack of self-worth. But here's the important part. This isn't permanent. Your sense of self can be rebuilt. And I've seen this so many times in wonderful clients who found the courage to accept the situation and to be able to move forward, to regrow, to be more self-aware, to feel better than ever before, because through this experience they learn about themselves, become stronger, and can move forward with greater confidence. In the final video of this series, we're going to talk about how that process begins and what healing actually looks like after a narcissistic relationship. So thank you for watching. If you subscribe or like this video, that would be very helpful. I'll be back with the fifth of this series of five over the next couple of days or so. But then you'll have 5 videos that kind of flow together to give you just a very brief insight into narcissism But I hope that gives you some insight into you if you're trapped in a relationship, or you know people that are trapped in relationships with narcissists and you want to help them out. So again, thanks for watching.